So I'm going to talk about scientific literacy, and I think it's something that's not really taught well in schools today. And you may not quite get what scientific literacy is, so I'm going to start off by explaining what it isn't. Scientific literacy is not
hit the right,
Just use the keyboard.
the right arrow on the keyboard.
See it? There.
All right, scientific literacy isn't knowing the order of the planets. It's not knowing the periodic table of elements. And it's not knowing whatever this creepy thing is. So, basically, what I'm saying is that scientific literacy is not being able to recite facts. And that's what they teach every day in pretty much every class of every kid's life. So, what does that mean scientific literacy is? Here we have Kermit the Frog. I'm sure you know. You know, kid sees him and he's pretty lifelike. I mean, they can get him to articulate very well. Someone who's scientifically literate will be able to see underneath and see, oh, there's a whole hand in there making him do these things. It's being able to ask how he's able to articulate so well. So, here we have some flowers. Now, you know, flowers are weird. They're oblong, they have all these different colors, and they're just odd things naturally. Now, if you can see underneath, you can see how it works and why. You can ask the right questions to understand how it works. And so, once you can see underneath and understand those things, you can start to ask questions. Like, why are the petals? Why are they so bright? Why are they so colorful? And you start to see that they draw insects in. Why do they do that? And you start to see that the insect pollinates the area around the flowers. And it just develops into a very intriguing and more in-depth subject that then you now are knowledgeable about the subject. So you start to see similarities in how things work. Same thing that makes waves makes sand dunes. You start to see that the similar processes that you see in this plant here are still at work from this macro scale into this, from this micro scale into this macro scale, where you're actually looking at, you can't really see it that well, but that's just a big area of mountains, really. It's just mountains. And it has some of the same properties being applied with how the water moves through it. So, why should you care? Why do you care? Well, one reason is that it can be taught very easily. It's a subject that isn't being taught well enough to my understanding, and it can be taught very easily. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should, you know, turn into scientists. I'm not saying you guys should turn into scientists. I'm not saying that your kids should turn into scientists. But what scientific literacy means is that it will make you and your kids into bigger problem solvers. They'll start to understand things much more easily. You'll stand out in a crowd. That's what employers are looking for as problem solvers. It's not the things that you do know, it's the things that you're capable of knowing. And it creates innovators. You're able to understand the subject more easily, and therefore you can expand upon the subject much more. And the way to do this is to allow people to tinker and allow people to explore. So let your kids explore and tinker and hopefully encourage it in the classrooms, and they'll be more successful, I believe. So, thank you.
Thank you.